Hello everyone, and welcome to this series of videos on some of the most virtuoso piano works published by Henle Verlag. In this video, we will talk about the demonic Fifth Piano Sonata by Alexander Skrjabin. Considered by many great pianists, Sviatoslav Richter comes in my mind, for example, one of the most difficult works in the entire piano repertoire. We of course agree with that, so let's see where these difficulties are and why they are so demanding. Let's look at the very first page with those quick passages in the right hand. First of all, let's notice that Skrjabin writes presto only from bar 9. This means that this passage does not start so quickly from the very beginning. That is an allegro. Now, as you can see from the score, the accented note is the last one. On this last note, you should concentrate your impulse, while your hand should stay on the position of the 5 notes and prepare the position of the next group as soon as it ends the previous. Prepare the next one, prepare the next one. Like that. Let's go to the very demanding part of the sonata that you find in the Presto con Allegrezza from bar 47. And so on. I think most of the passages are very comfortable for the right hand. Nevertheless, there could be some jumps that are very tricky. For instance, this one in bar 60. I think Skrjabin fingerings is very good, of course, and this is 2, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 4. But if we want not to sacrifice the precision as well the strength, we could possibly play it with the thumb over the black key, like this. Making this round movement between fourth and the thumb. Because the second finger would be a quite weak support when you have to jump it over and over again. This one. Generally speaking, anyway, you have to think to all of these chords in the presto in a light staccato touch. Otherwise, your arms will become stiff. Even in the forte, you don't have to push too much, as the writing is very rich and you have enough sound anyway. Only when Skrjabin writes the tenuto, you can push a bit more, always using your weight, of course, staying relaxed. And also very important, without realizing those jumps horizontally with these nervous movements, but make it with a round movement that is always the best on the piano because it is more natural and you can use weight instead of too much muscular and nervous force. Now, in the middle of this sonata, you can also find a few passages that could annoy you. For instance, from bar 227. Here, especially in bar 231 and 32, keep in mind that you are not anymore in the presto, and in these very few bars in particular, the tempo has to undergo an enlargement. It has to be imperioso, so you have time to prepare your hands to the quick crossing. Your movement here should be quick and concentrated, but remember to think about what is necessary to be heard the most. In bar 231 and 32, the left hand has these accented notes with this trumpet-like sound. And this has to be prominent, of course. while the chords in the right hand should be tenuto, but in a mezzo forte, as we have to reach the forte only in bar 233. Instead, in the presto giocoso in bar 251, you could possibly have problems with the left hand. This passage is very light, but also very quick. So here again, what must be heard distinctly are the first notes of each group with this bell-like sound. And the other notes of the arpeggio have to be played less articulated, very softly. Of course, you can take your time between the bars to reach the upper note in the next one. It's always better to take your time when you play difficult passages than to go in a rush. And I can tell you that most of the times these little breaths sounds very natural and are even necessary for musical reasons. Well, a last passage we can look at in this fast review is the vertiginoso con furia at bar 409. Here, of course, a stable, strong hand would be ideal, but in general, to realize it, try to stay as close as you can to the keys. Your balance will be the fingers in the middle of the chords of the right hand, that are always the same. So what you have to do is to give an impulse over the first chord of each triplet, keeping light the rest. And in addition, you should also realize a crescendo till the accented note in the second bar. This will help very much your hands and your arms to realize the passage. And your left hand will help you to keep the rhythm very precise until the end of the passage, with these accented notes. Finally, keep in mind that this piece should sound very colorful, demonic, evocative. Of course, it's not a piece created to make noise, so despite the writing is sometimes very heavy, remember to read carefully the score, to emphasize the singing lines or what is prominent in a mass of notes, and to play the rest without the same strength. Think orchestrally, so think in terms of texture. The piano in itself has always the same sound, so it's your touch that makes the difference. And you can calibrate it without stressing your arms all the time with the same intensity. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this will be useful for you to start practicing the piece. And stay tuned on ENGLE social media channels.